A fresh confrontation between the centre and the Supreme Court. The centre dilutes the Supreme Court judgment on the CEC as well as ECs, the bill over the appointment in the Rajya Sabha today. The appointment by three-member committee, the committee of the Prime Minister as well as the Leader of Opposition and Union Cabinet Minister. The Supreme Court judgment has gone on to say that the appointment by the Prime Minister, also the Leader of Opposition and the Chief Justice. To get more details on this, we have Sunil joining us. Sunil, take us through this breaking news that's coming in on the hour about the centre diluting the Supreme Court judgment.
Well, this is extremely huge and once again a sign of a huge confrontation between the centre and the Supreme Court. We saw that in the Delhi amendment bill, which was passed by Parliament and which is right now presently going to be heard by a constitutional bench. And it's in the same context now that the constitutional bench of the Supreme Court had ruled unanimously 5-0 that the appointments of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners will have to be appointed by the Prime Minister, Chief Justice of India and the Leader of Opposition. And in case the Leader of Opposition is not present, the largest single party, in this case, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. And that panel should be formed to appoint. It's in that context that now the centre has moved to amend that bill and has sent and has diluted it by adding, removing the Chief Justice of India, but adding a union minister, a union cabinet minister, who the Prime Minister may decide in that, along with the Leader of Opposition. And it's in that context that this is a serious cause of concern, because this is clearly going against the spirit of the constitutional five-judge bench judgment, which had appointed and said that the Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition and the Chief Justice of India were to be a part of a committee. And if those who are citing, why do you want to bring the Chief Justice of India? Please remember, and there is a clear precedent, the CBI director is appointed by a panel of, once again, the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India and the leader of the single largest party or the Leader of Opposition. And if it can work for the CBI director, why can't it work for the appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner as well as the Election Commission? So it's in this context, we'll have to wait and see what rationale is being given by the centre for this dilution. It's once again undermines constitutional bench judgment and really there has to be some good explanation for why they are attempting to dilute this.
Right. We also have Arvind joining us to get us more on this. Arvind, this is a big, thing as far as the dilution of the CEC and the EC appointment is concerned. The centre bill excludes the Chief Justice of India from the appointment process.
Yeah, Divya, Supreme Court Constitution Bench in March this year had given a verdict on appointment of CEC, Chief Election Commissioner, and also Election Commissioners. So in that particular judgment that was pronounced by retired Justice K.M. Joseph, who was a Supreme Court judge at that particular point of time, the five-judge bench of the Supreme Court in an unanimous verdict had held that the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioners will be appointed by the President of India on the recommendation of a select committee, high-power select committee, and the Supreme Court had also given the members of the select committee in that Constitution bench judgment. The members of the select committee shall be of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, along with Chief Justice of India. This was the select committee that was proposed, proposed by the Supreme Court in its judgment, and Supreme Court also held that this particular judgment will be enforced till centre brings in a law under Article 324 of the Constitution. So that's where now centre has brought in a law to fill that particular vacuum, a gap that was prevailing in the Article 324, and now a bill has been moved in Rajya Sabha, which will be introduced in Rajya Sabha over appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners. But though the Supreme Court Constitution bench judgment clearly said that the select committee will be comprising of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha and Chief Justice of India, but this time when the bill that has been moved in Rajya Sabha and the Parliament clearly said that the select committee will be comprising of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, along with the Union Cabinet Minister that will be recommended by the Prime Minister. So that's where the legal experts say that the very teeth of the judgment, the Supreme Court judgment over appointment of CEC and Election Commission, the very basis of the judgment was to have an independent body that will appoint the CEC and ECs. But with this particular select committee that has been proposed in this particular bill, that will be comprising of PM, LOP, and also a union cabinet minister. That's where the legal experts say that the very basis of the teeth of the judgment has been removed through this bill, and the centre is trying to dilute the bill because this particular select committee will again give the advantage to the political executive that is in the government as on date. That means that the Prime Minister, along with the union cabinet minister, will have a majority to rule anyone to recommend anyone as a CEC and EC, and the President shall appoint that particular person who has been recommended by the selection committee. And that's where the legal experts point out that this particular bill will be diluting the constitution bench of the Supreme Court judgment. The very basis of the judgment was to have an independent body that will appoint neutral persons as CEC and EC, and that's where this particular bill, according to legal experts, goes completely against the judgment of the Supreme Court.